Sorry for party rocking. Hey, yeah, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Absolutely ready, 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 ready. Very cool, very exciting. Let me plug in my iPad up here. I had it plugged in. Very exciting to talk about tonight's topic. So as you can see, my headline says 1,239 streams of income. Trust me, I'm going to explain it to you, so you'll catch up. So totally jazzed and excited about that. If you're in the group and you're watching, what you'll need to do, there's like a link up there that says StreamYard. If you click that link above the video that's like in there, if you click that link, it'll actually let you get in the app so I can see who you are, because it just says excited and then what's up. So I take it you're coming over from the group, from the what is my new group? I can't even think of what it's called right now. That's pretty bad. What do you say, babe? That's you? It says excited and what's up? So you're in the group? That's too funny. Wealth creators, XTRM wealth creators. So if you're in that group and you're watching the live, be sure to click the link above. That'll get you inside here so I can see who you are when you're making comments. So absolutely excited to talk about tonight's topic. Just jazz. I'm going to jump right into this. And hopefully the goal with Mondays is Money Mindset Mondays. I guess if you want to call it that, or yeah, that's what I actually call it, Money Mindset Mondays. So that's what we're going to talk about on Mondays. I'm going to talk about money mindset. Thursdays over in the Wealth Creators group Legacy Creators group. We're going to be talking about some. I've got a couple of possible interviewees set up. I'm waiting for them to confirm. I'm just really excited, and the primary focus of that group is to talk about wealth creation for us, and to be able to focus on that group. I'm going to bring entrepreneurs in. We're going to talk about business. We're going to talk about savings. We're going to talk about overcoming. It's going to be absolutely excited for that group. And basically, and I apologize, I'm only inviting certain people into that group, and I'm being very selective. And I may change my mind down the road, but right now I'm being very selective of who I invite into that group. And I have a reason behind that. I'll talk to you off camera if that's something that you'd like to chat about. I have no problem with that. But I have a certain mission that was inspired by me in my heart to focus on, and I'm very, very targeted and very intentional with that specific group. Now, the cool thing about it is it's a public group, so everybody will be able to see what's going on in the group, which is neat. So you'll be able to see the interviews, you'll be able to see what's going on. However, to be in the group, you have to have I'm being really, really focused and being really intentional with that for a specific purpose. So talking about 7 ways to create multiple streams of income. And I really started getting into this, and I was reading this, and one of the books that I just picked up is actually called Multiple Streams of Income, How to Generate a Lifetime of Unlimited Income. And it's by Mr. Allen. If you'd like his, I can't think of what his first name is right now, but I've actually got it on Kindle Reader up here. I've got a couple of things to talk about. I'm going to throw these out here for you. One is Money Mindset Mondays. Of course, wealth is when small efforts produce big results, and poverty is when big efforts produce small results. So if you're one of these, and I'm going to say this, you probably have seen runarounds like, hey, I'm creating multiple streams of income, I'm doing this thing and that thing and this thing. So, and I'm going to throw this out to you, and you got to be very, very careful in how you do this. Matter of fact, our CEO for our company just talked about being super laser focused, and I want to talk about this. Yes, the title is correct. 1,239 streams of income and growing, and I'm planning to grow that to 3,000 by the end of the year. I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to give a little bit of a mind shift for you. So first of all, I'm going to talk about 7 more traditional forms of streams of income, and I'm going to jump through those real quick. Then I'm going to come back and I'm going to throw some mind shift things. And this book that I'm reading is absolutely cool. I've got the Money Immersion book that I'm into. by Ray Higdon. That's absolutely awesome. It's about changing the way you think in your mindset. Just think about different things in the fashion is how are we limiting our thought process in what we tell ourselves to believe, right? What are we telling ourselves is too expensive? When we say to ourselves, oh my God, I would never live in that house. Who would have all that money? You have just stifled any chance that you're ever going to be successful because you've already told yourself you're limiting yourself from being there. I remember having a conversation, and this is many years ago. I was doing some coaching, and I sat down, and I was actually had a dinner meeting. We were talking about some wealth creation. I was in financial services at the time, and I was talking to these two ladies, and I was doing my wealth presentation to them, and it was very, very interesting. The comment they said, "Why would I want to be a millionaire? Those people are greedy." So I had to pause myself for a minute and just it sort of threw me back. I'm sitting here doing financial planning for some people that say they don't want to be millionaires. So I'm trying to figure out what are we financial planning for? 30,000 air? Well, was our goal there? So I had to pause for a little minute. I thought about this, and I said, you know what? And I've always said this is being a millionaire and having millions of dollars isn't about you, right? And I threw that out there and I let them think about it. So for those of you that don't know me, changing direction a little bit, my name is Forrest Knight. I'm a social media marketing strategist on a mission to help people succeed online and with a mission to have no more empty refrigerators. So if you're like me, if you're trying to figure out what you want to do for a small business, if your small business is struggling, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a network marketer, you're not quite sure which direction you're going, feel free to plug in, hang out with me a little bit. I've got some awesome mentors. I've got the Higdon coaching group, which I happen to be a coach with, which is absolutely honored to be that. So that's my cool inner circle coach. I showed up shirt on today, which is really cool. So I'm excited about that. But the point that I'm making is if you're just starting out, the whole goal of these lives like this is for me to take a little bit of information I got from somewhere else and to share it with you and hopefully make an impact. And the reason I'm saying that, I may make an impact on a certain group of people, and then you can take that information and you may make an impact on a completely different set of people that I may not have influence over, right? So it's very, very important that when we show up, as us. We impact the people that we can impact and hopefully share enough nuggets with them that they can then go out and share that with some people that we won't have influence over. So when you think like that, it gives you a lot of reason to show up. So 7 ways to create multiple streams of income. The first one is very obvious. Stream of income is basically earned income. Earned income is when you get up in the morning, you get dressed, you go to the job, you clock in, you work 8 hours. Whenever you get paid, once a week, once a month, however you get paid, that's earned income, right? Everybody knows that. Then there's profit income. That's self-explanatory there. So income that comes from a profit, maybe something you sold that you bought at one price and you sold it at another price. Profit income. Interest income. Interest income is really cool. I was just reading this book inside the multiple streams of income, and this is very interesting about interest income. And I really want you to hear this. And I was thinking about like, oh my God, how do I go back in time and start over, right? How can I go back in time and start over from this basic concept? And again, I'm not a financial planner. I'm not a financial guru. So, go get some financial advice from a financial planner. Read the book, Multiple Streams of Income. Absolutely cool. But one of the things he talked about is if you could simply put $1 a day, $30 a month, roughly $365 a year, from the day one that a baby's born all the way up until age 66. $1 a day, $30 a month. That's it. $1 a day, $30 a month. Now, in fact, I'll go back and I don't even have to flip back and read. I'm going to paraphrase from hopefully my memorization works. So yeah, I said that wrong on purpose. So $1 a day, $30 a month, 66 years, you have $1 billion in the bank. And I forgot what interest rate he used to calculate it, but I'll just go with what he said. I was like, wow, that's pretty crazy. And I think he said that's at 20% interest. People say, well, you don't get 20% interest. And he challenged in the book, I'm going to read to find out what exactly he's doing for 20% interest. Because remember, there's billionaires out there being created every day because they understand how money works. They understand the power of a dollar. So you actually might have $1 billion in your hand right now, depending on what you do with it. Then he moved it up to $10 a day, which is $300 a month. And I was like, then my brain started going, because I'm 57 years old right now. I'm saying, okay, if that's $300 a month, what if I put $600 a month in, and I'm able to compound that for the next 20 years at say 20% interest rate, and then maybe my wife can jump in and she can put in $600 a month, and we can do $1,200 a month, compounded at 20% interest for the next 20 years. So when I'm 77 and she's like 87, I'm sorry, babe, I mean, you're younger than me, right? So that would make you like 70 or something. Anyway, 20 years from now, we would have probably $1 billion if based on that, because it's going to compound. The interest rates are going to be up there, but if we can maintain 20% for the next 20 years. Now, see, there's all kinds of stuff out there. There's Rule of 72, the Law of 20. There's all kinds of stuff out there compounding that go up and down. But imagine you having parents, right? Imagine you're 20 years old right now. So if you have a 20-year-old, I would highly recommend you get this book. I would highly recommend, if you're a millennial, you read this and you understand that compounding effect and think like, oh, I'm going to start tomorrow, because he goes through the book and he talks about waiting to start to put that money in a savings account, or not in a savings account, in an investment account that's going to earn that type of money. So if you're still in your early 20s, you could literally be, like, for example, my daughter Alex, she's 21, and she literally would take $300 a month and put it in the bank for the next 20 years. By the time she's 41 years old, she would have $1 billion. The real question, and of course it's got to compound at 20% interest. Imagine how different her life would be at age 41 as being a billionaire. Imagine if I could go back to being age, yeah, I love you too, babe. If I could go back to being age 20 and knowing what I know now, and being in the military, for the time I was in the military, I would probably take every single dime that I had made in the military and stick it in the bank. And see, the challenge is when we're young, and we're young people like that, we go, oh, I got time. And next thing you know, you wake up and you're 57 years old, and you wish I could take all my money that I've earned over the last 57 years. If I literally took half of the money that I earned over the last 57 years and I'd put it in the bank, I'd be a billionaire now. Isn't that crazy? And I just say in the bank, but compound interest at 20%, or even anything above 12%, I would have a lot of money. What if it wasn't a billion? What if it was $500 million? What if it was 500 million? What if it was 250 million? Right? That's a lot of money. Irregardless, it's burn up, it's gone, it's in cars and credit cards and house debt and coffee and everything else. You know, I made a lot of other people rich because I gave them my dollar bill instead of keeping it. So interest income, we talked a little bit about that. Dividend income, you can go Google that to figure out what that means. But again, these are sources. These are 7 ways of having multiple streams of income that you can invest in. Rental income, everybody's like, I'm gonna get a rental property, I want to go buy a house. Now, if you can compound that quickly, right? If you can come up with a way to get rental income quickly, remember what we just talked about, right? It's $600 a month for 20 years, compounded at 20% interest. If you can get rental properties put in place where you have people going in and you can generate, you know, multiple here. Ooh, I almost let the cat out of the bag. Let's come back. So you generate you can get multiple rental properties, right? And you're going to get some income coming from those. Capital gains, of course, and then royalty income. Royalty income is similar to what a record producer or book writer, somebody like that, or maybe somebody in the movies, they do a movie, they do a record, they write a book, and they're going to get royalties for the rest of their life for that income. So going back, I almost let the cat out of the bag. Multiple streams of income. You'll notice in my headline I said 1,239 multiple streams of income. So let's do a shift. Let's think outside. Let's get in the forest thinking mode. And I realized this when I thought about this today. I'm like, okay, wait a minute. Because my wife actually spurred this in my brain. She'd ask a question on her Facebook timeline about how many streams of income do you have? And I see people posting 1 and 2. They're working on 3. And a lot of people in network marketing think multiple streams of income is having 3 network marketing businesses. That's not multiple streams of income. That's unfocused streams of income. Here, watch this. I'm just going to mess with your brain a little bit. And I'm going to talk about this rental property. Okay? Watch this. So you go out as a young person and you buy a single rental property, a single family home, and you put a person in it, right? People say, okay, now you've created multiple streams of income. I have my job, my 40-hour week job, and I have a rental property, which is now my second multiple stream of income. But watch this. What happens when I have a second rental property? What is that? Wouldn't that be a third stream of income? Because I've got my job, I've got one property, I've got two properties. Now I've got two streams of income coming from those properties, providing that there's renters in them. Let's say I go out and buy an apartment building, right? Of course, there's going to be a mortgage on the apartment building unless somehow I figure out how to get it and pay it off really quickly. Let's say it has 25 rental units in it, right? And they're all being rented out, and each one's being rented out and generating me income. And of course, you can, however you want to do the math. Let's just keep it simple. Let's say that it's paid off, and you owe nothing on this apartment building, and you've got 25 apartments in it, and each person's paying you every single month rental income, 25 streams of income. Are you guys following me where I'm going? I want you to think about this. I want you to think outside the box in terms of multiple streams of income. Now let's get into network marketing. Let's get into network marketing, right? Let's push the envelope a little bit. So multiple streams of income, and I like to think about this from the fact of building an MLM business that's not an MLM business. And I'm actually going to talk about that here. I got a live that I actually wrote it out today, and I'm going to do some mind shifts here to get you thinking a little bit. So one of the things that it's required to have a network marketing business is you have to have 70% of your income has to come from customers, not from people in your business. So that's very, very important. So like our business model in our company, it's like super heavily customer based focused. I mean, it's like customers for days. We're at, I think, 750,000 customers right now in our company, in just a little over a year, and we maybe have 40,000 reps. So the 70% ratio there is just way out of whack. We're good to go by a couple 100,000, right? But it's a big percentage. I don't know what 40,000 divided by 750,000 is. Sometimes for us 28. So yeah, we're there. We're way under that number. So percentage wise, it's very, very important. So let's say, and one of the verticals that we have in our company, which is very, very cool, is the rideshare vertical, right? So as I go out and I enroll another rideshare driver, and he's out driving around, and once I start him, I don't have to do anything else. So this is residual income. This is a stream of income. Once you put it in place, you don't ever have to do it again. It's subscription income, sort of like Charter Cable has, or like your cell phone company has. They have multiple tens of thousands of streams of income because they have multiple tens of thousands of customers that are using their product. You understand that concept? Their multiple streams of income come from customers. They know Verizon pretty much has me as a customer for life because I can turn on my phone, I use it, and I never lose service. So I'm never going to switch. I mean, somebody can come to me and say, hey, you can get this service for half the price. I'm like, great. Guess what? My phone works whenever I turn it on. Anywhere I go, I always have service. I can always download stuff. I've never not had my phone not work. I've never had to like run around trying to hold my phone up to the sky trying to get it to work. So I have no problem in paying more for good service. So that's a whole nother lesson. But the point I'm making is that Verizon as a wireless provider has tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of multiple streams of income. And on top of that, these multiple streams of income, just like I just did, I just went out and promoted Verizon, and they're not even paying me anything for it, right? So if somebody says, oh, I'm going to jump on Verizon because Forrest said so, or because Forrest recommended it, they've just now created another stream of income, because that stream of income is going into their business. So when you think about this, now here's the mind stretch. In the last 8 months, I've literally put in 1,239 streams of income, which is 1,239 customers. I've enrolled them. I don't have to do anything else. I've got drivers. I don't have to do anything else. They're going to get in and they're going to drive around and they're going to pick somebody up. They're going to put them in the back of their sanitized car, maintaining social distancing and all that stuff. And I don't even know why I threw that in there. I'm so sick of hearing it. They're going to drive the people around and they're going to get their fare, and I'm going to get a percentage of that fare because I help get the driver started. So he's coded to me for life. So every time he gets in, he drives around, somebody uses him, somebody's the fare. Now the same on the same barrel. I get a customer enroll as a customer, a rideshare customer. That rideshare customer now takes a ride with that driver. Now I've just generated two streams of income because I'm going to get paid a percentage of the ride and a percentage of the ride. So I'm double dipping on that side. So and imagine having 3,000 drivers, right? Imagine 3,000 drivers. I now have 3,000 streams of income that I've activated and I've put in place, just like $3,000 that I stuck in the bank, right? I stick the $3,000 in the bank starts earning interest. Or that $30 a month that I put in the bank, every single month, that money's earning me interest income, right? Think about it that way. Think about those customers that you put in place. I know I have friends that are in the Melaleuca business, right? Residual income, absolutely. I have friends that are in the Melaleuca business, and they have customers for life. They have like a 97% reorder rate or some ridiculous number like that for customers. I know I'm one. I love their products, and I'm probably going to be a Melaleuca customer forever. So my friend Ernest, who introduced the products to me, is going to have a customer for life. So he's got multiple customers across the board. So he's got multiple streams of income, and every time he enrolls a new customer that falls in love with that product, you don't have to do anything else. Right? I'm in love with the products. I go find new stuff. I love the toothpaste, and then I'm going to the shampoo, the whatever, right? I love it. I drink their coffee. That's my place to shop, right? Multiple streams of income. Just like there's certain grocery stores that people go to because they like the ambiance. They're repeat customers on a repeat basis. Charter cable. The cable TV side stinks. Internet's not too bad. But in this area, I have two choices. I have to go to AT&T with their cable satellite stuff, which never works when it's raining, so that's probably not going to happen. Or I can deal with Charter for their internet service, which eventually I think TV service is going to go away and it's all going to be streaming. So whoever catches that one up first is going to be. But if you understand the concept of multiple streams of income, the more customers as a network marketer that you put in place, right? My customers that I enroll aren't going to jump ship and go to another deal. Just like I'm not going to jump ship and go to a wire carrier. The reason being is because my customers have a platform that they can go into. They can verify and confirm the savings, and when they spend money, they save money, I make money. So very, very cool. There's absolutely no reason, unless one of my riders has a really bad experience on a ride, that I'm going to lose any income. However, remember, I'm in the process of putting 3,000 other drivers in place with a goal of having 10,000 riders coded to me. So that's going to be tens of thousands of multiple streams of income that I can basically earn income from anytime somebody takes a ride, anytime somebody jumps in it. And this is if you think like this as a network marketer, if you think like this as a business owner, how can I put something in place one time and step back and not really have to look at it again? Don't have to do anything again. How do I go out and buy an apartment building, right, or multiple apartment buildings and keep them occupied, right? It's not my income. I invested one income. Now I've got multiple streams of income, and some people say, well, it's real estate income. That's one form. It's not, because my single stream of income coming from a single rental, that's one stream of income. If I have 10 houses, you can argue with me if you want to, but just think about it logically. If I have 10 single family houses, I have 10 streams of income. Those are 10 individual streams coming to me. They're not all going to the first guy, then he's paying me. Now they're all going into a bank account. They're all coming from real estate. So it's a similar type of income, correct? But to me, I'm looking at this, when I thought about this earlier, it's like, what is a multiple stream of income? It's money coming from different places. And if I have multiple customers, that's income coming from different customers. And as I add more customers into my pipeline, I increase the opportunities of having a larger continuous monthly residual income. And when I have that residual income, then I can do something cool like this and take, $1,000 a month or $2,000 a month and put it in an interest-bearing account. Now I've got my dollars working for me, right? Another stream of income. So now I take those dollars and I put them in something that's earning interest for me at maybe 20%. So now instead of just being a billionaire by the time I'm 77, I'm like a bazillionaire by the time I'm 77, right? And I'm saying this is because if you're a young person, if you're in your 20s right now and you understand the concept that I just put out there, you can going to work and selling something is great. But if you're not taking that income that you're making, that income, that commissioned income, and putting that into some type of vehicle that's going to create you money while you sleep, then you're just lighting yourself on fire. And I guarantee you, and young people never listen to old dudes like me. They just don't, right? So I challenge you this. If this is resonating with you, if it's making any sense to you, if you're a young person, if you've got a young person, have them read this book, Multiple Streams of Income. There's tons of them out there. There's Robert Kiyosaki's book, the Cash Flow Quadrant. There's tons and tons of books out there. Get them interested in that and get them to stretch the way they think and realize that, okay, I'm going to go to work, and instead of buying those $250 Michael Jordans, that maybe I take that money and I put it in the bank, so that when I'm 40 years old, I maybe be able to buy an entire Michael Jordan store if there is one around then. You understand what I'm saying? So hopefully you got a lot of value out of this. So got a really cool cool article for you guys. It's a little bit changed. It's a little bit changed, a little bit different direction. It's the 13 laws to follow when breaking all the traditional career paths. Very cool. These 13 laws are definitely going to blow you away. If you like these 13 laws, shoot me a private message. I'll get these to you. Basically, number 2, and I'll read this one: being selfish, but understand that it's not all about you. Very cool law. One of my favorite laws, and when I'm going through this, I was reading this earlier, is number 7. This is really powerful, because the number 7 law in here, it will definitely change the way you think. And I'm not gonna spill the beans, because if you want to read it, you're gonna have to ask me for these 13 laws. They're absolutely gonna change your life. It's a very easy read. Definitely want to get it. It will definitely impact and change the way you look at stuff. So if you're thinking about going on a non-traditional path to earn an income, if you're thinking about that side hustle, if you're thinking about that you hustle, what am I going to do to earn income? Moving into the me factor, what can I do to create generational wealth? What can I do to create a legacy? What can I do to change my family's legacy so that we're not depending on they? We're not depending on the GOV. We're not doing that. It's my hustle that I can create a legacy for my family, for my grandkids, for my great-grandkids. Change the way I think about money, and the fact that, hey, let money work for me, let other people work for me, let other streams of income create my wealth. And as I do that, as I help other people do the same thing, then they can make a bigger impact. And next thing you know, we've made a huge impact and changed a lot of people's lives. So if any of this makes sense, share a takeaway with me. You won't be mad at me. If you have any questions, feel free to share that. If you'd like those 14 laws, shoot me a private message. I'll get those over to you, because I think when you read those, it helped me sort of come into this thought process today, talking about these multiple streams of income. When you read those 13 laws, you'll say, yeah, that can be a me too, right? That can be something I can do on a daily basis. I love you. Jesus loves you. There's absolutely nothing you can do about it. No more empty refrigerators is my mission. I hope you find one too. Go out, make an extreme impact. Peace out. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.